Hello YouTube, Dark Mist Education here, and this is the very first tutorial. Whoop. Okay, so today I'm going to teach you how to use Adobe After Effects CS 5.5. Well, that's the version I have, but this will pretty much, it hasn't really changed that much over the versions. It's just slightly different stuff, but the simple stuff's still there. Okay. So I use Adobe After Effects almost every day, if not more. I use it for video editing and even image editing because I don't have any good image editors and I'm really familiar with Adobe After Effects. So it's so powerful. There's a massive community to make loads of plugins, stuff like that. I have pretty much all of my plugins are from Video Copilot, an awesome company. That create stuff for the filmmaking community, I guess. Okay, so first of all, you probably want to go into your Windows Explorer, or whatever you call it, the searchinator, and you want to go. I'll show you what footage I have recorded, so you can try and. Okay, so I have two clips. I shot this on a tripod. I did not move the camera at all. So I have this footage. It's gonna load. It might be. Sometimes it glitches out. Sorry. As you can see, it's quite a large file. 137 megabytes. This is me. I'm just dancing. It's embarrassing. It's terrible. It's okay. So you probably want to just do whatever, but what you need it to be on a tripod, and it needs to be in the same spot. And then you want to record yourself twice. The effect we're going to do is called cloning. So pretty much what you're going to end up with is this clip and that clip in the same one shot. And so I'm looking at myself dancing, like, yeah, I'm just gonna dance some more, yeah, oh you dog, oh you, and some dances. I don't know how to dance. I have no idea. I have expression just suddenly changes. Okay, so you want to have some footage a bit like that. Obviously, it doesn't have to be dancing. You can just be literally looking at each other. Shaking hands would be very hard to do unless you need to do something called rotoscoping, where you go frame by frame, masking out, which means like cutting out your hand. So if you had a green screen, it would be a lot easier. But it's like if you had that clip and I tried to shake hands, it would just you'll see. Okay, so what you want to do? I have Adobe After Effects. The logo will be something like this. I just want to open it. Depending on how fast your computer is and if you have any plugins, it might load quite quickly. It might take a little while. The first time is always the the slowest. Sorry. Okay, so you're going to be greeted with this panel. So you can either do new composition or press close. I normally just close it, and you go into composition and you can click new composition. Or I open something from here, which is what projects you've had recently. Okay, so you're going to want to open project. That's pretty much what projects you have. Help and support. You don't really need that. Browse templates. I haven't actually used that before, but it's like a list of templates using something else from Adobe Bridge, I think it's called. Okay, so you want to click new composition, and so right now I have mine. This is the width and the height in pixels. So my height is 1080 and my width is 1080, which is completely square. If you click OK, it may even look like it's not square, but it is. It's just, I don't know why, it just sort of happens sometimes. Okay, so the general format is for full HD, if that's what you want, is that. Now this is because I'm in Britain. We use this PAL is what you use, so that would be 25 frames per second, which is quite a good, useful frame rate. You can't, if you want to do slow motion, you really won't be able to you could do it slightly unless you want a choppy look, which you could do a lot. Okay, so these are the frame rates. You don't want anything below this number, 23.976. And you, so if your camera records in that, which it might, because it's NTSC, which is in like America and some other places, your camera, if you're in America, you'll either record like this, or like this, which depend. It's probably going to be a number like this or this. And then if your camera records in high speed, like maybe if you had a GoPro or DSLR, not many camcorders do record in a high frame rate. But if you're PAL, you're going to be 50 frames per second, and if it records in high speed, like double frame rate, it will just be the frame rate doubled pretty much. Okay, so I'm going to keep that at 25 frames per second resolution. You want to put this at half. This is pretty much how much it downscales it. I like to put this down so it reduces how much how long it takes to like load all the pixels, so you can actually see it. So it'll be less pixels. This is the duration. I like to keep it up. Well, I'm gonna just judge roughly. This is okay. This number here, that's hours, minutes, yeah, seconds. No, sorry, that's seconds, and that's frames. So it's 25, because this is 25 frames per second. That could be a maximum of 25. So I'm just gonna say this is gonna be 1 minute. And the background colour I'm going to put as black. You can change all of this after you've created it. Okay, so you're going to have this. It may not look the same, but first of all you want to change this to fit, so you can see the whole thing as much as you can. I'm just going to reset this, the workspace here. This is what this whole thing looks like. I'm going to reset it. Yes. So this is what yours will look like. Okay. You don't need to paying attention to this yet. Okay, so first of all you want to open up the footage with the folder with your footage. I just have mine still on the camera. That's okay, because I won't be need to save it. So you can either highlight this and drag it onto there, or you can right click here, or you can click, sorry. You just right click here and you click hover over import and then file. So then it may look a little bit different from what you're used to, but you want to go, if it's still on your camera, you want to go to computer, and then mine's called EOS, digital, that's DSLR thing, and then yours might look like this, but you'll have to do a bit of searching. Then you can just highlight these, then click open. Now it might take a little while, and you might find that it stops responding, but that'll only be for a little while. With After Effects, you may sometimes find it just randomly stops responding, but then it will normally start again, unless if it's more than 30 seconds, then you might want to restart it. Okay, so but you can put them into the timeline. This here is the timeline. This is what you view with. And then this is the audio. You don't want to mess with this. As I said, you don't want to really mess with this yet. Okay, so you want to highlight those both. You want to highlight those both, and then just drag it in. Now, as you can see, there's a gap, so there'll be darkness, and then it will show them the footage here. Okay. So what you want to do is you can either drag it, which will be kind of hard to find unless you zoom in by holding Alt and Control, and then, just holding Alt, and then moving the mouse wheel. So I'm holding Alt, zooming out, zooming in. Okay, so you can either drag it when you highlight them both. You can't highlight them both like this unless you do that. But if you want to just highlight it like this, you can press Control, then click on one, click on another, or hold Shift, then that'll highlight a whole section. Like a whole, if you had more than like 3 and you clicked there, then clicked on that clip with shift, it'll highlight that one instead of doing it individually with control. Okay, so instead of dragging it, I'm going to press the space bar, and then begin bracket, which was just below like the minus and the plus and the one on the left. And then it'll, if you've got this dragged all the way there, it will put it at the beginning if you put it all the way there. Okay, so let's just make sure you can press this. This is a round preview. This is how you get sound. So depending on how big your video file is and how much memory you've got, it's going to take different times. But you can, so when you click it, it'll like pre-render it. Then you click it again and it'll play it. So that's my footage. Okay, so I don't actually come in, I'm not ready until here. Okay, so let's cut it. You can either drag it like this, which is the long way. I just dragged it back. Or you can press Alter and begin bracket. Then you have to bring it back here and press space, begin bracket. And then here is the name and everything. You wanna, this is so if you can see it, and this is if you can hear it. So we wanna press oh, and this is solo and this is lock. So if I lock that, I can't click it at all. I can only select the one beneath because that one isn't locked. Okay, so let's hide this one, and now we can see this one. So I want them. So I start looking like the guy. So it starts about here. Okay, so you want to put this one back. So you'll only be able to see this guy now, and that's normal. So if we drag it along, just starts beginning. Okay, that's fine. You can record it just one clip and then you walk over there, but I just did this so it's easier. Okay, so you want to drag this until the end of your footage. I'm just going to end mine here. So I'm going to press Alter and then end bracket. And for that one, Alter, then end bracket. And if you say you wanted it over here, you'd press space, end bracket, and then that would put it over there. Let's put it back. I'm going to press space, begin bracket again. Okay. So drag this across, and then it ends. Okay. So now we have our footage, and now we want to be able to see both of them at once. So what you can do is press T, and that'll bring up opacity. I know it's a bit messed up, it's not like O or something, but that brings it to the end of the footage if you press O, and then I brings it to the beginning. Okay, so I've got T, and I've got the opacity. Now this is just going to be temporary. You can drag it down or up, and as you can see, it fades out. So you can't get an automatic fade. You could try and make an animation preset. Might do a tutorial on that. These are animation presets. These are all the effects. Okay, so you want to drop the opacity to 50. So you can see them both. The background will be completely. As you can see, my camera very slightly moves. But that will be okay because it's going to be such a subtle move. It's very hard to tell. Well, kind of subtle. Okay, so I just zoomed in there with the mouse wheel, by the way. Okay, so if we put this to 50 by clicking on it, you see it like that, and then press 50, 50. Okay, so you can see them both equally. So now you're thinking, well, they're just shadows, you know, or they're just faded. You can keep it like this if you want a kind of like ghosty effect. That if you wanted a ghost effect, you'd film one with no one in it, and then one with on the stand in the same place, and then one with you walking. Okay, and then that would create a kind of ghost effect. And if you wanted one flying, you'd have to use something called a green screen, which you might know about. Okay, so you want to get this, which is called a pen tool or mask tool. A shortcut for it is G. So I went from this up here is the toolbar to this. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to click here, and then try and get it in the middle, so you're like separating it. And click here, so you want it roughly in the middle. Click here, and then you want to have this half of the clip, and make sure you got this one selected. So now you can see that one and this one, and already you can see that looks really quite good. But if you look here, you can see it kind of hides the shadow, so I'm going to want to extend this so you can't really see that. And so there we go. Now already you can see that's a really good effect, but if you zoom in a bit, you can see you can clearly see there's kind of a line there, and it gets more noticeable. Now there are lots of ways you can fix this. You can try positioning this, but an easiest way, also one thing I should mention is this clip is ever so slightly brighter than that one, and you can do something called curves. Now if you type this in here, CURVE, curves, and you go down to under color correction, so you can see all this stuff here. You want to drag that over to this footage, the top one, which is this one, and then here is, you can drag it down to darken it, and drag it up to lighten it. And if you see on some stuff it says brighten, normally that won't properly brighten it. This is the best way to brighten footage, but that's going to brighten all the noise, which is like, let's find an example. That's, as you can see, it's a bit grainy, where the cameras, there's a lot of contrast, and the camera's not too sure what to put there, or not sure, research it. You research it, Google it. Okay, so we have this footage. Now what you want to do is it's showing this yellow line, and this is kind of stopping us from completely seeing the gap, so it kind of hides the changeover. So what you want to do is go over down here, and it says choose grid and guide options. You want to click on, you want to, not that, toggle mask and shape path visibility. You want to click that, and then even if we select it, you can't see it. So now you can see the line. Now you want to darken it, because mine's not that much different. Darken it. There you go, that's about as close as I'm going to get. It's only very slightly. And if you wanted to, this is like the highlights and stuff, so you can try and get it as close as possible. That's pretty much as close as I'm going to get it. So now we've got the problem that the footage is not in the exact same space. Now if your footage is almost completely different, you might want to try, if you don't have a tripod, just put it on something and just try and keep it as still as possible. But other than that, it won't really work if you've got it moving about. Or you could try doing something that's called tracking. I'll explain that in a possible later tutorial. So what you want to do is press M on the keyboard, and that'll bring up this. But we don't want just that, we want to press double M twice, so MM, and that'll bring up all this. Okay, so the mask feather is kind of like, it kind of feathers the pixels. So we see this gap, and now if we feather it, I'm going to put this up to full so you can see it in more detail. It may lag a little bit, but we'll put it up to, depending on how much you want it, I'll say 10 pixels, and that may just do it. Now because it's in a different position, I'm going to put it up a bit more to 20, so it's really quite hard to tell, and that's quite good. Okay, so already that looks good. We'll scroll, let's just put the resolution back down, because it's not, I'm not zoomed in very much. This is the effect, and this is the project if you want to see like that. Now, before we do anything else, you should always save it in case you get power cut, computer crashes, something like that. So I'm just going to save as clone in it. No, clone. Okay, so you just click save, or you can press Control S, and you can choose the file name. So you can press, if I've changed something, like I moved this, I can just press Control S. Also, that's blackness. You can see that's the mask. Sorry if it's a little bit, a bit unsure. It's quite hard. It's first tutorial, so not 100% sure if I'm explaining it that well, but hopefully I'll get better. Okay, so we've got this. So now we want to watch it. So what you want to do is go over to the RAM preview and click that. Let's watch that. This isn't actually it playing. My cat meowing. Now, as it goes further on, it's going to slow down a bit. So I'm just skip the video until it's fully done. I might not skip it, I don't know. Might be lazy. No, I won't skip it. As you can see, it's really already quite realistic. You couldn't really tell this, apart from the fact that it's the same person dressed in the exact same thing with that same hairstyle. Even as twins, it would be quite unbelievable. But you could maybe pull it off if you put something else on. Okay, let's play now. Okay, so that's a pretty good result. You could have some music with that. Okay, so if you want some music, you're gonna have to go import file, and you want to go over. You can have any music. If you're uploading it to YouTube, you're gonna want to find some copyright-free music. A good place. Sound effects is a good place. Is Sound Bible. You might find some music over there. Not sure. Okay, so I'm gonna go into my libraries, and I'm gonna go into. Mine's called Sound Effects, and I have this massive folder full of sound effects, all of that built up by me. This is from Designer Sound Effects from Video Copilot. I'm going to go over to, let's see, there's Abstract and Pro Scores. I'm going to go on to Abstract, which is has some beats. So you're thinking, oh, if I double click it, it's going to open it. So if you want to listen to it, you can, let's have a look. Double crowd. There we go. Okay. So you want to click that and then right click. It may my computer's a bit slow. You can just click play, and it might take a little while to load. Mine's 6 megabytes because it's loopable. Yeah. Oh, sorry, it's really lagging. Not sure why. I haven't turned my computer off for a couple of days. Okay, so it's just about to play. Oh, sorry about that. There we go. So we got some music there. So if I into crowd. Sorry about that little skip. My brother came in asking me to set up a green screen. Okay, so we have the crowd imported here. So what you want to do is you want to get this and you want to drag it over beneath your footage, or you can do it above. What I did there is I pressed Control Alt then the arrow keys to move it up and down. You can't drag it up or down, and you can only drag it left or right. Okay, so if we do another RAM preview, we'll be able to hear it with the music. Now normally if you've literally only changed something a little bit, it should go a little bit. It should go a bit faster because you've rendered the actual video, but you haven't done the music. So I'm not sure why it's being slow for me. Just having a look. My computer's not that slow. On like Minecraft, full settings, 100 frames per second. Yep. Yeah. I'm looking to upgrade my computer. My hard drive's almost completely full. I need to get either external one or upgrade it. I sort of need more memory for the stuff I do. Because if you're going to be rendering almost every day, more RAM helps it render quicker. I've got 4 gigabytes. I'd like to upgrade to 6 or 8. So I can just run stuff that bit easier without it kind of crashing and having, because I like to have 3ds Max, which is a 3D modelling program, open, and After Effects at the same time. Okay. Okay, so there we go. That's a pretty good result. By the way, this is a slider to see how much you want to see. So if I wanted to just see a tiny bit. Okay, so that'll be all for this tutorial. And I'll see you in the next one. Make sure to head over to my gaming channel, Dark Mist Gaming. I've got daily gaming videos there. The only other channel with videos on it. Okay, hope you enjoyed, and make sure you subscribe. Bye.